City play Sparta Prague on matchday 3 in the Champions League. So let's have a look at what to expect tonight. So in terms of what team I'm predicting for tonight, I think Edison is a guaranteeing goal. I think Ake will come in at left back, which will be his first match back in a while, but Guardiola definitely needs a rest at this point, and it looks like Ake is returning to full fitness. So I think he will start at left back. I think Diaz will stay in that back line, although he does need some rest soon. And I think Stones could keep his place as well after that winner against Wolves. But I think Akanji could potentially come into the team for either one of them. I think Rico will keep his spot at right back with the news that Walker may have a knee injury. Otherwise, I think this is the game Walker definitely would have started, but I think Rico will look to continue his good form at the minute. I think Gundogan will fill in the number 6 tonight. I think since he's rejoined, he's not been at his best, but I feel like this is the position he should be playing in. I thought this was the position he would have been brought into play, but he's been playing more in the number 10 recently. But I think game at number 6, he'll be back to his best. Just ahead of him, I think Foden will play. Obviously, he only got 20 minutes or so against Wolves, and he obviously hasn't played much this season. But again, like I said in the Wolves preview, I think without De Bruyne, we need him in the team for that creativity. And I think Nunes will also get a start here alongside him, and I think he's just what we need right now in terms of the team. I think the goal we conceded against Wolves at the weekend showed up the biggest problem that we've faced this season, and it's that counter-attack. With missing Rodri and the new system with just the one in the midfield, we really struggled to get back for the counter, so vulnerable for the counter. And I think Nunes, even in that little cameo he had on the weekend against Wolves, that little thing where he got that challenge in, managed to carry it all the way up and win us a corner on the other side. I think that's just what we need, and I think he's earned a start tonight. I think Grealish will come in on the left, and Savinho will keep his place on the right, even though I don't think Savinho was that impressive on the weekend. But I think that'll be the wing pairing, and I think Haaland will quite obviously keep his spot up top. Let's move on to talk about Sparta Prague and how I expect them to play against City. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything about Sparta Prague, but what I do know about them from what I've seen of them is this. Now, with the ball, Sparta Prague look to build up in a similar way to Inter did against us at the Etihad. They obviously naturally play as a 5-back, so from goal kicks, the 2 wide centre-backs split between the goalkeeper, while the middle one pushes up to the edge of the box here. Both of the wing-backs stay a little bit deeper, and the 2 midfielders sit just in front of that centre-back in the midfield, and it's a really narrow front three, looking to cause the man-to-man press of City lots of problems if they can look to combine in these areas here. In terms of with the ball, they are actually very composed and look to play out with short passes, looking to break down the opposition press instead of just hoofing it long. Now, of course, against us, the long ball could be more favourable, but I would still expect them to look to play out as much as possible. So I would expect City to press this in a similar way they did to Inter, which is when Haaland stayed on that centre-back, while the 2 number 8s, so in this case I think it would be Foden and Nunes, apply pressure on the wide centre-backs, while the whole rest of the team are man-to-man. When they get the ball higher up the pitch, then being in the 5-back, they naturally settle into a 3-2-5 shape, as many teams do, with both of the wing-backs high up, providing all the width, allowing that front three to stay narrow and look to combine and outnumber us. Again, they do have quality in these areas, and I would expect for portions of the game for them to actually be controlling the game high up in these positions, and could potentially hurt us if they manage to break through and combine, like they have done in recent games. Now, out of possession, they have a very aggressive man-to-man press. The striker normally sits in on the pivot here, similar to how I think Haaland will do tonight, while both of the wingers narrow up and look to press the centre-backs and the goalkeeper in these positions here. Both of the wing-backs push really high up onto the opposition full-backs, and they are also man-to-man at the back, which I think we will be able to cause them problems if they stick to here. Like we've done many times this season, our wingers probably will drop quite deep, dragging in their marker, which leaves Haaland completely one-on-one with the opposition centre-back, which one ball over from Ederson, and it's almost impossible for that centre-back to deal with Haaland in there, and we could see that potentially happening. Now after this press, they drop into a 5-2-3, a shape that we've really struggled to break down in the past, because the opposition like to stay so narrow, forcing you to go on the outside, and from here can be really aggressive in getting out to you and forcing you to play backwards. However, I think with this 3-1-6 shape that we've been utilising a lot this year, it could be easier, as when that fullback comes out, there's not only space for this player to run into here, which can then drag across the centre-back, there's also space behind them that Haaland or Foden or even Gundogan could run into, and Savinho can play that pass to, and we could find openings that way. I also think with Nunes in the side, there could be lots of times where we do revert to the classic 3-2-5, with Nunes sitting a little bit deeper and Foden maybe moving out to this left hand side, just to give us a little bit more security in the counters, and also allowing Nunes to do what he does best and driving up the pitch from these deep areas, and could get us into some quite dangerous opportunities. But all in all, from this game, I'd expect another really challenging team to break down, and a lot of the game will be spent watching us trying to break down this low block again. But I think, of course, we should have the quality to break them down, and it should be a fairly comfortable win, although I did say that about Wolves.